Welcome back to Vegas, everybody. It's time for another Pick 3 segment. I'm Matt Perrault, sportsmap.com, SB Radio for my show Pushing the Odds that comes here from the CG Technology, comes out of here from the CG Technology Sportsbook each and every weekday, Monday through Friday, 11 to 2 Central Time on the SB Radio Network, SBNationLive.com to stream the show. But let's get some games. So we went 0-6, 5-1, and then took a step back last week, right? 0-2-1. 3 more games to talk about here today. We're back on the dog wagon, and let's start with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Pittsburgh plus 2.5 in this. The Steelers, have you seen the numbers? They own the Bengals. They own their division the same way that the Patriots own the AFC East. This is a huge opportunity for the Steelers to kind of right the ship here. There's a couple of big things at play, in my opinion. The first is, how good are the Bengals really? They're 4-1, right? They're everyone's darling. The Vegas number for them for total wins was 7.5. They got 4 already. They win this game, they have a stranglehold on the division over the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a team, I think, in Pittsburgh that's angry, backed against the wall, and they've got something to prove knowing Le'Veon Bell is about to come back. Now that's kind of weird, right? Le'Veon Bell, they think they would be excited. They're not really excited. James Conner, the running back who's been there, Ben Roethlisberger goes on radio in Pittsburgh and says, Conner's our guy. You know, hey, Le'Veon, you can come back, but Conner's our guy. So this is interesting to see how that whole plays out. I think the Steelers got something right last week. They figured something out defensively last week. I know the Falcons aren't great. I rolled with them. That was a mistake. But I think the Pittsburgh Steelers plus the 2.5 on the road at Cincinnati is the play that we want to roll with coming up. Next 2 games are big dogs. In the first, let's start in your neck of the woods, in Houston. The Buffalo Bills plus 9.5 on the road at Houston. I'm taking the Bills. Shady McCoy's on the block. He is running incredibly hard. He wants to be traded. He wants to go to Philadelphia. Will he go to Philadelphia? Well, the best way to make sure of it is to show great production. I really like what I saw last week out of Buffalo against the Tennessee Titans. They didn't score a ton, okay? I get that. But I'm not in love with Houston either. Houston didn't play very well. I mean, look, they got somewhat fortunate to win the game. The Cowboys kind of gave them that win by punting the football in overtime. It's the second overtime gift that they got for a victory here in 2018. How good is Houston? I don't know. I think they may win the game, but to cover a 9.5 point spread, boy, that is just that line's too big. I can't roll with that line. I can't trust Houston to cover that big of a line. I think the Texans are going to win, but Buffalo keeps it close. Their defense has played really well, playing really hard for Sean McDermott, a defensive-minded coach. I think it's a low-scoring game. Houston does win, but I'll take the Buffalo Bills to cover that 9.5 point line. And speaking about 9.5 points, I know Aaron Rodgers is really good, but let's talk about Aaron Rodgers minus 9.5 at home against the 49ers on Monday Night Football. I'm sorry, but I look at this in a very similar way to how I'm looking at Houston and Buffalo. I mean, I know it's Aaron Rodgers, and I know it's the Green Bay Packers, but I just don't know how good Green Bay is. CJ Beathard's not horrible. The 49ers, I think, can keep that game relatively close in prime time. I think it's going to be a game where you might go, oh my goodness, there's no way the Packers are going to run away with it. And I don't think so. I think the 49ers are going to keep it relatively close. I'll take 9.5 points. If you're going to give me 9.5, 10 points in the NFL, those numbers, just look at overall historically, it's very difficult for teams to cover that big of a line. So to me, I'm going with the 49ers on Monday Night Football to cover that 9.5 point line. It may even rise by the time kickoff happens on Monday. Watch that line. It may even go higher. And if it does, keep going and grab a hold of the highest number you can possibly grab for points when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football. To review our Pick 3 segments, let's start with number 1, Pittsburgh plus 2.5 on the road at Cincinnati. They are 6-1 against the spread against the Bengals over the last 7 games. I'm going with Pittsburgh. Number 2, I'm taking the Buffalo Bills plus 9.5 on the road at the Houston Texans, and I'm taking finally the 49ers plus 9.5 on the road at the Green Bay Packers. I'm Matt Perrault from SB Nation Radio, pushing the odds right here in Las Vegas. Hopefully back for another winning week next week here on SportsMap.com.